Imagine yourself as a young lad, barely into your teens, sprawled on luxurious silk sheets in a dimly lit chamber, the soft flicker of an oil lamp casting long shadows across the walls. The air is thick with the lingering fragrance of rose-infused water from your recent bath, a ritual that once felt like a privilege. But tonight, the quiet isn't peaceful. It's oppressive, like the heavy pause before thunder rumbles through the sky. Then it hits you, those heavy boots echoing down the hallway. Not the light steps of a servant bringing midnight comforts, but the measured, ominous march of the palace enforcers. Your heart pounds as realization dawns. They're here for you. In this sprawling Ottoman stronghold, a midnight call like this spells doom, a path to torments that would shatter even the strongest spirit, leaving you begging for an end that never comes. By the time dawn creeps in, you might find yourself shackled in the underbelly of the palace, your cries swallowed by stone walls engineered to trap every sound. Strangers would come, one after another, twisting what was once your source of favor into instruments of agony. And believe it or not, this was seen as the milder fate. These weren't tales spun from imagination. They unfolded in the real corridors of power during the Ottoman era. Forgotten youths, their identities scrubbed from the annals of time, but their ordeals captured in the stark reports of foreign envoys who caught glimpses of the nightmare. One diplomat from Venice jotted down notes about anguished wails rising from the depths below, persisting for days on end. He couldn't pinpoint the source, but he suspected it was a former darling of the ruler, cherished one moment and discarded the next. You'd convinced yourself of your security in this world of opulence. As one of the elite selected, clad in fine fabrics, savoring exotic treats from distant lands, groomed to captivate the empire's mightiest figures. Your innocence, your allure, your quiet yielding, these were your armor. Yet now they've twisted into your downfall. The intruders burst in without a word, their faces stern under the lamplight, motioning for you to stand. No reasons given, no last glances exchanged. They guide you through unfamiliar passages, beyond sealed entrances and spiraling descents into the palace's secretive core, far from where any plea could reach the throne. But before the real ordeal kicks in, they probe your resolve. Midway through the dim walkway, they halt abruptly. One draws a slender blade, pressing it coldly against your neck, not to end you, but to gauge your spirit. Will you plead for mercy, lash out in defiance, or surrender without a fight? Your instinct here seals your path, directing you to chambers tailored for specific kinds of despair. These hallways whisper their own grim tales. Fabrics drape the stone to hush any noise, plush rugs conceal telltale spills, and every few paces a sentinel station looms, manned by silent watchers, ensuring no soul escapes with secrets intact. Between these posts, subtle engravings hint at the varieties of suffering ahead, cryptic signs denoting rooms for different brands of punishment. At last they pause before a sturdy timber barrier. A guard fishes out an ancient key, weighty and discolored by years of grim use. The mechanism grinds open with a sharp snap, revealing not a stark cell but a deceptively elegant space, barred openings, ornate furnishings, and a solitary resting place. This is your gilded trap, a confinement masquerading as refuge, where you'll linger until the sovereign decrees your fate, swift oblivion or a profound overhaul. The barrier clangs shut, echoing like a final verdict that rattles your core. No restraints in sight, no overseers within, just an eerie stillness laced with the ghostly remnants of prior despair. Yet this haven harbors insidious truths that emerge gradually, like shadows lengthening at dusk. The pillows bear stubborn blemishes no scrubbing can erase. The frame of the bed shows gouges from frantic nails seeking purchase. The elegant weave underfoot displays scorches from embers used in questioning sessions. These aren't mere flaws. They're intentional reminders, etching the fates of predecessors into your awareness. And that viewport, it's a masterstroke of malice, framed to overlook the ruler's lush retreats, where fresh protégés stroll under the sun. You'll be denied. Further out stretches the burial grounds, dotted with anonymous mounds holding those who never emerged. It's not for illumination, it's a cruel mirror to your vanished world. When overseers reappear, they bear silken cords and a modest container. The cords evoke finality, tools for silent departures, but the container harbors deeper wounds, relics from your bygone days, a trinket presumed vanished, an unsent note in your hand, a strand severed in slumber. Their vigilance predates your awareness, these tokens not mere evidence but catalysts for unraveling. Each will ignite recollections, then poison them, eroding your grasp on reality. The bauble adorns another sufferer as you observe their torment. The message is ridiculed in recitation. The tress ignites while visions of broader devastation unfold. These bindings aren't for termination, but for restraint that inflicts torment without lasting traces. Masters of subtlety, they knot limbs to amplify every twitch into misery, sparing fractures or lacerations. The intent, to instill that solace, blooms solely from utter compliance, forging a bond where agony yields to allegiance. Before escalating to corporeal trials, they escort you further into the depths, where the atmosphere reeks of exertion, terror, and visceral decay that churns your insides. This bouquet stems from echoes of the fallen. Vital fluids, yes, but also the raw emissions of bodies stretched to breaking. These subterranean layers were crafted for human reconfiguration, each segment serving a distinct role in a meticulously evolved regimen. The entry point demands divestment, not merely of attire, but of selfhood. They shear your locks into demeaning styles, strip adornments, and consign your distinguished robes to flames. The subsequent area confronts you with the aftermath of your predecessor, the form still recent enough to display the inflicted scars, the imprints, the petrified horror etched eternally. This staging is deliberate, aligning demises so newcomers behold their potential destiny. The implication rings clear: yield and evade this, rebel and embrace it. But the following chamber unmasks the apex of atrocity. At times, the prior captive lingers in limbo, preserved as exhibits of submission's spectrum. You encounter youths fractured in psyche yet intact in form, grinning amid silent sobs, expressing thanks for inflicted woes. These breathing specters eclipse any lifeless shell in their dreadfulness. This overhaul bore a chilling label within the walls: reforging, not erasure through death, but sustained existence amid the demolition of your core, then reconstruction into a vessel aligned with the sovereign's designs. The inception demands a decision laced with poison. They introduce a stranger, another youth wide-eyed with fear. The decree: one endures while the other observes. Opt for your own pain or delegate it. Either path corrodes your soul. Self-sacrifice breeds culpability. Betrayal fosters disgrace. Desperate bids for alternatives, shouldering double burdens, imploring clemency, fall on deaf ears, versed in every desperation. Only the fork that morphs victim into participant awaits. What follows in this descent will shake you to your foundations. Hold on, because the depths of this reforging only grow darker from here. But the physical marks are only half the horror. During these sessions, they force you to chant phrases that seep into your mind like venom. I am nothing without my master. My purpose is to serve. I am grateful for my suffering. The pain of the needle or blade anchors these words, but the real damage comes from something darker. They time these rituals to exploit your body's responses, weaving pleasure into the agony. Your mind begins to blur the lines. Pain becomes reward, submission becomes relief. This conditioning is so insidious that even if the doors swung open, you'd hesitate to run, tethered by a psyche rewired to crave their approval. The training that follows feels like a descent into madness. Specialists, men whose sole craft is the destruction of will, take over. They're not butchers, they're artists, sculpting despair with surgical precision. Phase 1 drills in helplessness, proving resistance is futile through relentless cycles of punishment and deprivation. Phase 2 conditions your body to react instinctively to their commands, stripping away conscious choice. Phase 3 severs your ability to trust, ensuring no loyalty, neither to yourself nor others, survives. But Phase 4 is their crowning achievement, gratitude training. They push you to the brink of desperation, then offer fleeting moments of kindness, a soft word, a sip of water, a moment without pain. Your starved mind clings to these crumbs, learning to see your tormentors as saviors. When the pain stops, you thank them. When they speak gently, you feel a twisted devotion. This isn't mere survival instinct. It's a reprogramming so profound that freedom becomes a concept too alien to grasp. The palace doesn't stop at breaking you. While you're reshaped below, teams above erase your past life. Your chambers are stripped bare, reassigned to a new favorite. Your belongings, tokens of a life once cherished, are scattered among others or destroyed. Your name is struck from records, forbidden in whispers, as if you never existed. Even your family feels the ripple. They're watched, their homes searched, their neighbors shunning them out of fear. Some are quietly relocated to far-off lands, ensuring no one speaks of the boy who vanished. The cruelty peaks with your replacement, a new youth, eerily similar in appearance, trained to mimic your every gesture. You're forced to watch through hidden slits as he takes your place, wearing your old silks, basking in the affection you once knew. His presence isn't just a replacement, it's a lesson in your disposability, a wound that festers as you see your former life reborn in another. The final phase of your transformation isn't about breaking you further. It's about proving your worth as a weapon. A broken concubine in the Ottoman court was far more valuable than a corpse. Your shattered mind and scarred body become tools for the Sultan's schemes, instruments of coercion and control that extend far beyond the palace's gilded walls. But first, you must pass their tests, trials so grueling they reveal whether your submission is genuine or a fragile facade. The first test is betrayal. They feed you secrets about other concubines, whispers of their dreams, fears, or hidden rebellions, and demand you expose them. Your words condemn friends to the same horrors you've endured, each syllable a step deeper into complicity. The second test is even crueler. They bring you a new boy, fresh from the outside world, his eyes still bright with hope. Your task: prepare him for the nightmare. You must convince him resistance is pointless, guide him towards surrender before the specialists take over. If you can crush his spirit without flinching, you're ready. Most falter here, a flicker of their old self stirred by his innocence, urging them to warn or protect him. Such failures earn harsher conditioning, techniques so refined they snuff out the last embers of empathy. Those who pass become the Sultan's prized assets. You're dispatched to the estates of defiant governors, rebellious generals, or merchants grown too bold. Draped in the same silks that once marked your favor, you arrive under cover of night, your beauty now a haunting shadow of what it was. Your presence alone speaks volumes. This is what becomes of the Sultan's chosen. What chance do you have? Men who see your hollow gaze and trembling hands understand resistance is futile. But your true value lies in what you hear, not what you show. Trained to seem broken and powerless, you become the perfect spy. You memorize troop movements whispered in private chambers, state secrets spilled in moments of vulnerability, plans for alliances that could shift empires, all while appearing too damaged to comprehend their weight. Your fractured mind, ironically, makes you the ideal vessel for secrets that could topple kingdoms. Ottoman archives buried in dust still hold records of these operations, chilling manuals detailing how to shatter specific personalities, which methods work best on defiance or despair. They document missions where broken youths like you secured military victories, triggered assassinations, or dismantled rival dynasties, all without the world knowing the true architects of these schemes. Historians who've glimpsed these files often refuse to speak of them, shaken by the calculated cruelty they reveal. The ultimate test, though, is the reunion. After months or years in the shadows, you're brought before the Sultan once more, not as a lover or a victim, but as a finished product. This isn't a private moment, it's a spectacle before the court, a showcase of the Sultan's power to reshape souls. New favorites watch, their faces paling as they see what you've become, a living warning that beauty and devotion mean nothing in the end. The Sultan offers you a final choice: return to your old life or remain in your new role. It's a trap, of course. Your conditioning runs so deep that freedom feels like a void, more terrifying than servitude. Most kneel begging to serve, their gratitude a testament to the reforging success. You compete with other broken souls for a fleeting glance from the throne, addicted to the approval of the man who orchestrated your ruin. This is the legacy of those forgotten boys, their screams silenced, their names erased, but their impact rippling through history. Their stories, hidden in the shadows of empire, deserve to be heard. If this journey into the darkest corners of the past has gripped you, subscribe to join us as we uncover more hidden truths and share in the comments where you're watching from. Let's keep shining a light on the voices history tried to bury.